Okay, so today's question is, I am a student who has challenges focusing for sustained periods of time. Will you recommend standing when studying? Hi, I'm Allick Delancy, a psychologist. Now, some people are able to sit for very long periods of times when studying, so they can sit not just for an hour. Some people can sit for 2, 3, 4 hours studying without actually moving much. So some persons are able to do that. I know of some persons who actually they can sit for maybe 2, 3 hours cumulatively. So they will use the Pomodoro technique. They will sit for probably 25 minutes, take a 5 or 10 minutes break, and they will go back again, take a 25-minute study, and take a 5 or 10-minute break, and then they will go back again. And during the breaks, what they will do, they will stand up, they will take a stretch, maybe go over to the water cooler for some water. So they incorporate some movement, some physical activity into their studying. So some persons are able to do that. Other persons, they're not able to do that at all. So for example, you find that some students, they may be able to uh, study for maybe just 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes their focus might be gone. They're looking at something else, they're distracted, they may even go to their phones or tablets, or maybe start surfing the net, Google something that is totally unrelated to the subject matter that they are studying. And even if the person who is studying is not diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Let's say, for example, they are not diagnosed with ADHD. Uh, these individuals can also find it difficult to sit for long periods of times. So, what can we do to help such ones? Well, the reality is that there are really no harm to see in standing. Now, you can sit for a moment when you're studying, and then you can take the breaks, just like I made mention before, those who are using the Pomodoro technique. So they can stand up and they can take some breaks and have some movements, and then go back, sit down, and do their studying. Now, you can even take some movement breaks right there next to your desk. So it doesn't mean that you have to go anywhere necessarily, go for a jog, walk along the road. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can get up, stand up right next to your desk, and you can actually maybe touch your toes, um, stretch your hands up in the air, maybe make some gestures, some movements, just to maybe even jog for probably a minute or so next to your desk, so you can get the blood flowing more effectively and oxygenate your body a little bit. I, from time to time, may even keep a tennis ball under my feet. So I make actually, while I'm sitting at the desk here, I may roll it underneath my feet, pass it from one foot to the next, and just get some movements going, especially if I'm sitting here for long periods of time. So all of that can help you with movement. I had a classmate when I was an undergrad, and what he will do is that he will go to a classroom that had a whiteboard, and he will stand and write out the answers to questions. So he wouldn't just sit down and study. He will actually go by the whiteboard, have his whiteboard markers, and write out the answer. So he was standing, he was moving around. The board was very, it was a large board, so he could have moved from one side of the room to the next while writing on the whiteboard. So if you have access to a blackboard or a whiteboard, you can do that. Maybe you don't, but you may have access to flip chart paper if you don't actually have the flip chart stand, and you can fasten the flip chart paper maybe to the wall, if you're allowed to stick things on your walls, or maybe you can have some hooks attached to the wall where you can hook the paper on and you can actually use it to write on, if that's something that could work for you. But the idea is standing up and writing, or standing up and working, so that your focus could be kept. Now, I know that some people, they may go out and buy a standing desk. If you have the money, maybe you can do that. But for some persons who are not able to buy a standing desk, you can make your own. So, for example, like this desk right here, it's not unheard of that, or from time to time, I may even take a box and rest it right on top here, and I may actually stand up and do some typing, instead of just sitting down and typing by the keyboard. So I can stand up, type, I can stand up and write, I can stand up and read, rest the book on the box, and use that as a standing desk. Some persons, they may be able to use maybe a cupboard um, in their kitchen. It's tall enough so you can actually rest your books there and write, or rest your laptop and you can type, or you can rest your book and read, or you can create your mind maps on that height. You get a piece of paper, you create your mind maps, or you write down everything you know about the particular subject matter, or you probably even do your cue cards, right? So whichever study technique you're using, you just stand up and work. So studying occasionally, standing up for any period of time that you feel comfortable with. I'm not saying you have to stand up for any length of time that it becomes very painful for you, your feet become swollen. That's not recommended. If that is happening, it means that you're harming yourself in the process, right? So you don't want to do that. But you want to stand for a reasonable time. When you get tired, you sit down and you can stand again, or if you get tired of standing, you could just sit down and work for a while, and then you could always stand up again if you feel like it. So standing, it has some benefits. Obviously, if you're moving around while you're working, it's like exercise. It's not lifting weights, but it's exercise. You're not going to get a whole lot of cardio exercise from just standing there, but at least it will help you somewhat. Um, and of course, if you're doing some jogging on the spot next to your desk, that is going to help you with your cardio. So you will be getting some opportunity to exercise your body, have some movements, even increase some hormones in your body, some happy hormones that can help you to feel relaxed, happy, less irritable. Some additional benefits of standing up or doing some light exercises when you're studying: it helps with reasoning, alertness, and motivation. Some studies even show it helps with recalling information. So, standing, if you're losing focus, it's not such a bad thing. And obviously, if you're standing and your focus is there, then you're more likely to learn, to acquire information, to be able to do better on an exam. Because if you're learning because of being more focused, then you're more likely to produce positively on your exams, on your quiz, or on your tests. So if you're losing focus when sitting down, try standing up and see if that will work. I hope that this content was valuable for you. You can like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.